Brunswick versus Strongsville, the ageless rivalry that I've lived my whole life, which has been 38 years. It's always been school versus school, sport versus sport, and in this case, city versus city. So who will win the best suburb to live in? Well, let's dive into the nitty-gritty and find out. What's up, guys? Anthony Esposito with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert right here in the Cleveland, Ohio area. I work with buyers, sellers, investors in all their residential needs, specializing in new builds and upsizing homes. If you have any questions regarding Brunswick or Strongsville, or even some of the other suburbs in the area of Cleveland, go in the description below, click on the calendar link, book a call with me. I'd love to chat with you. Also, don't forget to hit that like button if you get anything from this video, and subscribe to the channel because I got tons of great content coming your way. With that, let's find out which one of these cities is truly the best suburb to live in. So let's start off with one of the most important factors when figuring out a place to live, especially when you have a family or you're planning to start a family, and that is the school systems. So Brunswick has a B+ overall rating according to niche.com. They're ranked 133 in the state out of 605, so it's not bad. It's not, excellent, the best that's out there. Their academics are an A-. One of the great benefits about Brunswick is they just built a brand new middle school, and we just passed the levy to build a brand new high school that has been much needed for many years. As far as Strongsville goes, according to niche.com, their overall ranking is an A, and they're ranked 51 in the state out of that 605. So much better than what Brunswick is ranked. And their academic level is also graded at an A as well. Now, they just got a new middle school just a few years back with nothing in sight for a brand new high school, but they've been doing plenty of renovations to it. Now, from a personal experience, I can't talk about Strongsville school systems. I did not go through them. I went through Brunswick school systems. I had a tremendous time, had no issues whatsoever. I felt that I got a great education out of it. But I've heard a lot of great things about Strongsville, and I know from being in real estate, there's a lot of people that want to move to Strongsville because of their school system. Brunswick has done a much better job from what I'm told. My kids aren't old enough to be going through that school system yet as far as the city schools go. But I've heard a lot of excellent things about it, and they've been doing way more, especially with, the new middle school, the new high school that's coming. So, they're doing a lot of upgrades to it. But the stats are the stats. That's what niche.com has them ranked at. So we got to go by what the stats are and what they state. So for this one, Strongsville wins as far as the school systems go. Next up on the list is going to be the cost of living, another important factor when determining which city you want to live in. Starting with Brunswick, let's start with the overall cost of living, which is 6% below the national average. As far as goods and services go, that's 4%. You can see the groceries are 5% higher. Healthcare, that's 1% lower. Housing is 13% lower than the national average. Transportation, 6%. Utilities, 2%. So a lot of good numbers that are there. Obviously, groceries are up. But overall, you can see the different numbers of where Brunswick ranks. Now, as we look at Strongsville, you're going to notice a little bit higher on numbers with things, especially housings. So cost of living overall is only 1% below the national average. Goods and services, 4% below. Groceries, 5% higher. Healthcare, 1% lower. Housing is actually 2% higher than the national average. Transportation, 6% below. Utilities, 2% below. So as you see, cost of living overall is still below the national average for both of them. But again, according to the stats, Brunswick does have a better cost of living than Strongsville. So this one is going to Brunswick. Now let's check out the restaurants between these two cities. So in Brunswick, we have a few really, really good places to eat. You got Mucho Buenos, which is an excellent Mexican restaurant. Niner's Diner, which is kind of like an overall type restaurant. They have amazing food there. Of course, you have Ohio Pie, which that is one of the best pizza places in Northeast Ohio. They have 2 locations. Brunswick is the initial, home location of them. And then there's the other hidden gem, Kelly's Cafe, which, in my opinion, they have the best crepes in this area. For Strongsville, I'll be upfront with you. There's more choices to choose from than Brunswick. Some of the more popular ones that they have is Shinto, Rosewood Grill, The Rail, Grand Fiesta, and they even have Trivs that's there. All those places are really great, and that's just naming a few. So overall, if you're looking for, something nearby to sit down and go to eat, Brunswick is going to be limited to their options. Strongsville has much more. So if you're in Brunswick, chances are likely you're going to be changing it up more often, depending on how much you go out to eat of where you're going to be going. You're going to have to drive to surrounding cities like Strongsville. Next, let's go into home choices. So Brunswick right now, the median home price is sitting at $329,000. Strongsville's at $310,000. That's as of December, the end of December. However, both cities are home to multiple homes, whether it be ranch, splits, bi-levels, contemporary, modern. I mean, you name it, both of them have got it. However, if you're looking for luxury homes, Brunswick is far and few in that category. Strongsville definitely wins in that aspect, as they have developments, they have standalone. You can definitely find more luxury homes in Strongsville than you can in Brunswick. Typically in Brunswick, our high-end kind of price points are $500,000 to $600,000, whereas Strongsville, you will get into the millions. Now with that home price, also consider the taxes. Strongsville does have a little bit higher taxes than Brunswick. So overall, they kind of balance each other out for the most part, but if we're going by stats, which we are, as of right now, Brunswick is more expensive. So Strongsville is going to end up winning that category. Next up, let's look at shopping. And I'm not talking grocery stores because both cities have multiple grocery stores. I'm talking retail. Somewhere, where you can go pick something up that you need, whether it be shoes, clothing, whatever the case is. So Brunswick is home to 2 furniture stores. There's Taylor and now the Cleveland Furniture Company. We have a Pet Supplies Plus, which helps out for, your pets. We got Home Depot, of course, that's always a big one. And I got to throw Meijer in there just because they do have their retail side of things. But that's about it. There's really not much retail stores in Brunswick. Now, as far as Strongsville goes, whole different story. And I'm guilty of it. I got to drive to Strongsville for certain things. So they have Costco. I'm throwing that in because of their retail side. They got Best Buy, Lowe's, Home Depot. They have a TJ Maxx, a DSW. They have a Men's Warehouse. They have Target. They got Walmart. And of course, Strongsville is home to South Park Mall, which has a plethora of retail stores throughout there. It's a mall. So obviously, Strongsville definitely is host to more retail stores than Brunswick. Brunswick's a little bit more laid back. Plus, we don't really have the room to necessarily, house all these different retail stores like Strongsville does. So overall, Strongsville is going to win that category for the shopping. Lastly, let's talk about traffic. So Brunswick is home to around 36,000 residents. We got 2 major roads that run through Brunswick. There's Pearl Road, and then there's Center Road or State Route 303. With 36,000 people going to one location for a highway, which is 71, that can get pretty congested. Rush hour is a complete headache. I've been in it where it's taken me 10 or 15 minutes just to go a mile or 2. There's light after light after light. It is a complete headache. It gets very congested just because that is our only access, our on-ramp and off-ramp to get to any type of highway. As far as Strongsville goes, they also have 2 main roads that run through Strongsville. Pearl Road again runs up through there, and then they have Royalton Road or State Route 82. And if you think Brunswick traffic is bad, you should see the traffic that comes through in Strongsville. They are home to around 46,000 people, but because of all their retail that they have and the restaurants that they have on 82, that whole on-ramp and off-ramp at 71 and 82 becomes a nightmare. And it is just car after car, just bumper to bumper. You are jammed. Whether it be rush hour or if it's on the weekends, holidays, like especially around Christmas, is terrible trying to get through there because you got so many people trying to get to the mall, you know, to go do their shopping, to see Santa Claus. And overall, like throughout the year, they still get packed with a lot of people. It pulls in from multiple suburbs all around. So their traffic is tenfold compared to what Brunswick gets. I personally don't know how I would be able to go through like that on a daily basis. However, Strongsville does have a second location to get off the highway, and that's at Pearl Road from 71, that same highway. So it can break it up a little bit, but it still gets chaotic like no other. So as far as traffic goes, I'm giving this one to Brunswick. After going through that list of things of what city is what, considering the fact that Strongsville has better schools, more shopping, more home choices to choose from, I got to give it to Strongsville for the clear winner here. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know. Drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear your take on it, if Strongsville's the clear winner or if it should go to Brunswick itself. I've been in Brunswick my whole life, and I got to tell you, Strongsville, to me, is the winner if you look at all the stats and everything that they have. But again, drop that comment down below. I want to hear from you. Also, if you got anything out of this video, smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Plus, hit the subscribe button, turn those notifications on. I got tons of great content coming your way, and I'll catch you on the next one.